and today I'm joined by Tiggy.
Hi everyone, I'm Tiggy and I'm the Product Communications Executive here at Care Control.
Tiggy helps our customers stay up to date about new features and understand how to get the best out of Care Control. So some quick fire questions for you today, just about what you're doing. So when a new feature launches, what is the most important thing for customers to understand?
So when new features do release, it's important for customers to understand that we're creating these features because it is keeping up with the demand of social care and the industry. And being a digital software or digital supplier, it's important to keep up with what care providers, managers, deputies are wanting. And so to stay current, we want to make sure that our software is up to date for care providers when giving care.
And what's one thing you always want customers to feel when they're seeing those updates?
Satisfied, current, being informed that these updates are happening and that these features are out. It's so important that customers are continuously informed of what is current for them, because there may be a really big feature that they need to help give care to those that they support. So yeah, it is about staying current and staying informed, because as many care providers know, social care industry is constantly changing. There is more in demand, so being able to provide the providers with that is very important. So yeah, staying informed and current.
Perfect. And what is the most helpful way for customers to learn about those new features?
If you're wanting to know more about Care Control and you want to stay up to date with what we offer as a system, what we can do for you, especially on what kind of service you run as well, I would say subscribe to our mailing list, because that is the first point of call. When we want to contact you, that is where we will contact you, alongside looking at our LinkedIn and our Facebook as well. We are constantly updating those two pages as well, with any updates that you may need. So I would definitely say look at Facebook, look at LinkedIn, and sign up to our mailing list, which you can do at carecontrolsystems.co.uk.
Hi everyone, it's Molly, and today we're with Pete, and he's part of our product team. We're just going to go into a little bit what you're doing. So I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, so as you've said, my name's Pete. I'm one of the product owners here. Product ownership, what's it about? We're all about the future. We're all about taking all of those lovely customer requests that we all see hundreds a week and sometimes, and we kind of order it, prioritize it. What's the most important? What do we need to respond to? And then we connect that with the engineering team. Okay, what do we need to build now? What can we build next year, the year after that? We kind of make the roadmap, and then we produce all these lovely specifications of how that's going to be built, what's viable, what's compatible with the existing architecture. All of that stuff we kind of collaborate with the engineering team, the commercial teams as well, and kind of get it all through, make sure it's all about the customer. Are we helping that customer? Are we kind of prioritizing the right customers? What are the right things that we should be responding to now to help them? That's what we do. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So looking ahead, what areas of the platform are you most excited to develop further?
Yeah, so the area that I'm the most kind of passionate about, actually, and fascinated by, is intelligent care review. There's a bit of a theme going on at the minute. It's sort of taking what we have already. We've got all these kind of really complicated rules engines in the background that sort of decide frequency, priority, increase that there. But coming back to simplicity of the customer, what they want to do is just not have to think about any of that. They just want to be able to just complete one thing, one time. It's super easy to use already. They kind of want to make it even more simpler, so they can kind of answer some easy survey questions, and then it just kind of auto-calculates everything, adjusts everything in the background. That's the kind of nirvana, that's what we're moving towards. And I think that's super exciting, because we're kind of enabling them to kind of have that survey just as if they're completing a normal survey, like a Google Doc survey, but all the while the Care Control magic in the background is just kind of doing its thing, and then just automating so much work for them. I think that's going to save so much time, help so many outcomes for service users in the care homes across the UK. That's me. That's what I'm excited about.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, and then when you're reviewing sort of feature ideas and feedback, what's the first thing that you would ask yourself?
To me, I mean, it sounds simple. Are we helping the customer? You know, it's so easy to think about, oh, we need this radical new dashboard, this new really clever panel that needs to do X and Y. But if the customer doesn't get any benefit from it or understand it, or can't, or very few customers can understand and use it, we're almost wasting our time. So I think it's better to think, whatever we're developing, is this going to bring immediate benefit to the customer in phase one? Phase two, is it making it sort of universal, compatible, scalable for the future for all customers that might use that feature? And three, is it an evergreen feature? Is it helping, say, evolving compliance requirements and things like that? So it's all about the customer. Are we helping the customer in a real way? And are we... Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. It's like, are we reading between the lines? Because I think a lot of customers, they sometimes really appreciate our help in kind of helping them how to use the system. We kind of think ahead of the customer sometimes. What do they really mean? And can we give them something even simpler, even better to help them with that thing?
Yeah, okay, perfect. How do you make sure that care control continues to evolve alongside the needs of the care sector?
Yeah, so I think when you've got evolving, it's like with the CQC, the inspectorates, the requirements do evolve quite rapidly, so we do need to keep a watchful eye on those changes. But I think this comes down to like the concept design specification stage of getting those documents really ready for what we call engineering handover, where they have all the tables, the sort of user journey specifications to really know, okay, this is going to be built in this way and do this thing as clearly as possible. But in that kind of medium, like mid-stage process, we're really thinking about, okay, we're making this mechanism here, that's great, it resolves the need that we originally built it for, but is it really scalable if these requirements change, including the regulatory requirements? Is this going to kind of have that covered in the future deliberately? Are we deliberately thinking about every possible variation that things might change in, and then we're just naturally prepared for when there's regulations change? So one example is anonymity. You know, when say case in point, new regulation comes in, all text fields need to be anonymous here. Well, what we do, instead of just waiting for that to happen, we think, well, let's enable that functionality now, just so in case that changes, we're ready for that. Yeah.
Nice, okay. I'm just going to ask you a final question to help us with that outro bit.
Yeah.
So what do you feel that the collective purpose is for the product team? What's your end goal, your main objectives, your big ideas? What's the whole point for what you're doing?
Yeah, bit of an outlandish statement. I think this is about making the future happen.
Yep.
This is about taking almost like fantasy, like North Star feature ideas, making them real, making them connect to what we can do in the here and now. Bit of a lightweight version, bit of an advanced version for phase two, and kind of really bring it to the tech team and collaborate with the tech team, because everyone has really good ideas. It's kind of meshing everything together. We're kind of the care control glue in a way of, we collaborate with everyone. Yeah.
Perfect. Hi everyone, it's Molly, and today we're with Hannah, another member of our product team, and Hannah's going to tell us a little bit more about what she does.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm the UI designer at Care Control. I've been here for about 6 or 7 years. Basically, I turn requirements or initial ideas and make them a reality. So I basically create the designs, the prototypes of how the software will work for customers, and then that gets passed on to development, and they basically make it a reality.
Cool, amazing. From a design perspective, what's always on your mind when you're working on care control products?
So for me, it's about balancing simplicity with responsibility. Care staff are working with really important information, and the system needs to support that properly. So I'm constantly thinking, is this clear? Is it accurate? Am I basically showing them the information they need to see? It's not always about making it as quick as possible to record, because again, we're working with really important information we can't mess up. So it's just making sure it's clear, it's accurate, and it's obvious how to use it. Tech can be really scary for some people, and it's just making sure that it's intuitive, that they can just follow along, and
Don't need loads of training to go with it.
exactly that.
When the team is developing new enhancements, how do you make sure that they are simple and easy, or simple for the care teams to follow?
So a big part of my job is putting myself in the staff's shoes. So I have to put myself in real scenarios. So where are they? What are they going to record? How much information do they have? And what information do they need quickly as well? So it's basically going through that flow and making sure that the design comes natural to them based on the scenario they're in. So if it doesn't naturally work in that scenario when I go back through it, it's not likely going to work. It might technically work on paper, but if it's not easy for the user and it doesn't support the user in that kind of use case scenario, it's not going to be simple to use.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, how can a good design and a system actually support people working in care?
So a good design should take the pressure off staff when recording high quality care. It should make them feel confident with what they're recording, and also reducing any risk of mistake. I think it's important to remember that software, it's not replacing the care and support. It's working alongside the carers to support them, which is really important. And so because of that, we need to make sure that it's simple to use. Care is really complex as well. So when it comes to designing, sometimes I'm thinking, wow, this is a complex area, how am I going to make it simple? But we've got to. So it's basically kind of weighing up that complexity with simplicity as well, making sure it's got a good structure. And yeah, just making sure it's got a good structure. And aside from that, I mean, I do love being creative in design, so putting those little flares in, that kind of makes the software feel more human, because sometimes technology can be really scary. So yeah, just those nice little touches in there to kind of make staff feel human when they're recording care. But yeah, so essentially, I think just to summarise, it's making them feel confident, making it simple, reducing risk, and again, just remembering that technology is here to support care, not replace it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cool. Hi everyone, it's Polly again, and we're with Lorna, another member of our product team, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what they're doing.
Okay, so I joined the team at the beginning of March. I've transferred over from customer service in the key accounts department, and I am now looking at all the new innovations that we're bringing into care control, looking at the detail, how it's going to work, sending it through to the developers, or rather the designer first, then coming back to us and re-sign it off once we're happy, and then we will have a mock-up run with the dev team before it goes into production.
Perfect. Okay, so having worked with care control from the start, why do you think that customer feedback is so important when it comes to shaping new product or enhancements?
Customers know what they want. There's obviously commissioners out there who ask for specific information on systems. CQC, the inspectorates in Scotland and Wales, etc., all ask for different things, and that's one of the things that we do. We were the first one to bring in COVID monitoring, so the injections and all the testings that had to be done, we were there right at the very beginning. I think we listen to what customers want and assess whether it's appropriate for everybody or whether it's something for an individual. And I think when we developed something called Single Custom Form, I think that was really important, because it meant that if there was something they wanted but nobody else did, they could build it themselves.
Okay, perfect. And with the perspective that you have gained working so closely with the customers, obviously in your previous role, how does that sort of influence the way that you approach new features, enhancements and things like that?
Because I know how customers work, I think it's really important that I understand that and then put that into the mix. What's going to work, what's not going to work. I've been heavily involved in payroll, for instance, and looking at the testing of it and pushing back on things that I didn't think was going to work. CRM as well, you know, having a look at the new CRM, which is brilliant. Just how is a site going to work with it, not just a head office? So I think that was a really important thing that we managed to push through. So yeah, I think that's important.
Perfect. So when you see something go live that's come directly from customer feedback, what does that mean to you and to the team?
We've done our job.
Yeah.
I think that is the easiest thing to say. We've done our job, we've done a good job, hopefully, that they like it, there aren't any issues with it, and that they're going to use it.
Perfect. Hi everyone, it's Molly again, and today we're with Stuart, who is our head of product. Could you just tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the team, what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, I started with the team just over a month ago, and we have been focused on getting processes and kind of elements in play, so that we can do the full end-to-end from discovery all the way through to aftermarket research. And just making sure that we're prioritising the real value items in the product roadmap.
Perfect. So speaking of sort of looking ahead and those priorities, what areas of the product are you most excited to continue developing?
So building on the tradition of building real life solutions that add value to the support, and moving into facilitating better decision making through data analytics and AI. Ultimately, we want to deliver real value to the clients that in turn improves the care that they can provide.
Okay, so when shaping what comes next for the product, what's the top priority, or what's your top priority in ensuring that it delivers real value to our users?
Yeah, so every product feature needs to deliver what I would say is practical value. If it doesn't save time, reduce stress, improve efficiency and compliance, then it's not worth building. The voice of the customer is now integral to everything that we're doing in the product team, and we assess all of the enhancements, all of the features for their reach and impact to them, and we just try and simplify things so that they can do their day-to-day job the most efficient manner they can, and ultimately improve care for the people being cared for.
Perfect. So what excites you most about the future direction of care control and the sort of impact on its further in the care sector?
I think as the care control systems evolve and become more joined up, we're utilising AI and improving the tooling that's available. That will play a bigger role in the care sector as a whole. And ultimately we want to be delivering things that improve the day-to-day for our clients and the people they're caring for.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.